أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ثم الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه الأخيار أما بعد. Alhamdulillah, in this episode we continue with our readings on Balāgha, where we are using the book دروس البلاغة. The book, I don't know if I mentioned previously, I don't know if it's still now, but then before it was a book that was used in the Azhar preparatory schools, yani beginner schools. It was a book that was used in the educational system, certified book. So it is one that is well affirmed if you are to begin your Balāgha with. Jamil, we read the introduction and inshallah we are going to enter into it. Still, this is also kind of an introduction. This is not in the heart of Balāgha yet. So we see مقدمة في الفصاحة والبلاغة. There's an introduction into الفصاحة. Now these words normally you see them explained as eloquence and rhetoric. البلاغة is rhetoric. Now this word rhetoric, not many are aware of what it entails, and I think in the previous introduction I explained what balagha is. When we say rhetoric, it's for you to speak with finesse, speak in a stylish way, in a manner that is very appropriate. Then the statement must be extremely appropriate. Where you need to beautify words, you beautify it. Where you need to prolong, you prolong. Where you need to use brevity, you do that. Now, when you speak with such finesse perfectly, then we say you are speaking with balagha. Now, every literature material, every material that is of value, like poems, Arabic poems, like the Quran, like a hadith, like the hadith, these materials, there is no way, it is impossible for you to be able to appreciate them without knowing balagha. It is absolutely impossible. Yani you can understand like this, but if you don't take care, that raw understanding of nahu and sarf might even be misleading if you don't add the balagha to it. So the balagha kind of come into put your sarf and nahu together to make use of them. So if you used a mubtada, a jumla fi'liya here, why did you use jumla fi'liya here? If you used a jumla ismiya, what is the purpose of the ismiya? Sometimes when you do hazf, taqdeer, why did you do hazf here? Here you didn't do hazf. Jamil, why are you doing like the way we read every day, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim? This Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim is actually the surplus of a sentence. Jamil, the sentence, the musnad and the musnad ilayhi, they are not in the sentence. So it is a phrase that is the surplus of a sentence. You know, a jumla is made up of the musnad ilayhi, whether be the mubtada or fa'il, and the musnad, which is the khabar or the fi'l. These two makes up jumla fi'liya, jumla ismiya. Now the additional phrases that is added is called fadla. In the Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, it is the fadla that is kept. So it's like saying ibtida'i ka'inun bi Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, or saying akra'ul Qur'ana bi Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Akra'ul Qur'ana Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Afwan. Akra'ul Qur'ana Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Ibtida'i ka'inun Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So why the hazf of the mubtada and khabar, or the hazf of the fa'il and fa'il, and the fadla is kept? All these understandings, until you have them, you are not able to really appreciate text. So you realize that those that cause a lot of confusion are students that are beginner students and have graduated themselves into scholars. So they don't have in-depth understanding of this science and they go explaining text anyhow. Now this is the text you are going to look at. So this is balagha. Fasaha is for you to speak proficiently. Now you can speak proficiently and it is not balagha. I can come to your house, you are sick. As you are sick, I'm telling you a lot of stories. أنا بخير مشيت إلى هنا وذكرت كذا وقلت كذا كلام كثير to somebody that is married. في هذه الحالة لا يحتاج إلى هذا الكلام الكثير. يحتاج إلى الاختصار، يعني اختصار كل شيء. the person in this condition needs you to be brief. So if you are speaking plenty, all your sentences could be fasiha, it could be proficient, but they are not baligh. Afwan. So that is what we are going to look at. So al-fasaha, eloquence or proficiency, and then al-balagha, rhetoric. Jamil, let's see what this has for us. مقدمة في الفصاحة والبلاغة. It says الفصاحة. When we say الفصاحة, that is proficiency. في اللغة تنبئ عن البيان والظهور. When we say fasaha in a language, in everyday language, not in this field, not as a terminology, in everyday language, tumbi'u, yani it gives us the feel of, it gives us the meaning of al-bayan was zuhur, yani apparentness, something being apparent or obvious, something appearing. So when we say fasaha, bimana being clear, being zahir. Jamil, aywa. So you call afsaha as-sabiyyu fi mantiqihi. Say that the little boy has become clear in his speech. So when you have a baby, at the early stages when they are speaking, I go in a manner that you don't really hear well what they are saying. The boy gets to a particular age where they can say, I go to school clearly. Now at this point we say the boy afsaha as-sabiyyu fi mantiqihi. The boy has now become clear in his speech. This is the afsaha in everyday usage. It doesn't matter whether the sentence is wrong or right. Just be clear in the statement. إِذَا بَانَ وَظَهَرَ كَلَامُهُ. We say that to a boy when his kalam, his speech, becomes clear and apparent. Jamil. وَتَقَعُ فِي الصِّلَاحِ. And it appears in this particular al-fasaha, تَقَعُ فِي الْإِصْطِلَاحِ. It comes as a terminology. وَصْفًا لِلْكَلِمَةِ. As a description for kalima. It comes وَصْفًا لِلْكَلَامِ. As a description for the kalam itself, the jumla. And it comes as a description for al-mutakallim, the one speaking. So what are we saying? We can say هذه الكلمة فصيحة. This kalima is eloquent or is proficient. We can say هذا الكلام فصيح. Yani this speech or this statement is eloquent or is proficient. والمتكلم, and we can say, oh, this man هذا المتكلم فصيح or المتكلم الفصيح. Yani the eloquent speaker. So fasaha is a description that comes for kalima. The word itself can be fasih. The kalam can be fasih. Likewise the mutakallim. Jamil. So we take them one by one. When we say fasahatul kalima, what do we mean? Fasahatul kalam, what do we mean? Fasahatul mutakallim, what do we mean? Number one, fasahatul kalima says, when do we say a word is fasiha? سلامتها من تنافر الحروف ومخالفة القياس والغرابة. These are three things. So for a word to be fasiha, there are three things it must fulfill. The huruf of the words, there shouldn't be tanafur. What is tanafur? Discordance. When there is discordance in the word or dissonance in the letters of the word, in such a manner that some people, when they talk about tanafur, then they say that it is the words coming from the same makhraj. Yani when you do tajweed, you know makharij al-huruf. Some of the huruf, they come from the aqs al-khalq. Some of the huruf, let's say all of them, huruf al-halq, 6 of them. You have huruf al-lisan, those that come on the tongue. You have huruf that come as a nasa sound with the gunna and all that. Some say that when all the huruf of a word are coming from one makhraj, yani the makharij are close, that causes the tanafur. Some also say that when the makharij are farther apart, but it has nothing to do with that. Tanafur al-huruf is when the huruf of the word makes it difficult for a pure Arab tongue to pronounce. In your language, sometimes in certain languages, even the letter ra is difficult for them to pronounce. So let's say in the language, then they have a word that has ra in it. It has some jim in it, and maybe it's difficult for them to pronounce it. So you find them struggling then in that case, we will say such a word has tanafur al-huruf. There are dissonance in the letters, and the dissonance is not, the definition is based on the pure Arab tongue, the Al-Arabi Salik, the one that is naturally Arab, pure Arab, that speaks original Arabic, not these photocopy Arabs that we have now. Jamil. And then وَمُخَالَفَةِ الْقِيَاسِ, and the word itself going against qiyas. You know, when we did the surf, we said that if you want the plural of this, it is placed on this meter. Not even the plural. When you want the fa'il, the wazn of fa'il is fa'il. So you pick the fa'ul fa'il, you put alif, you bring the ainul fa'il, maksura, then you bring the lamul fa'il. But then you find a particular fa'il, it is not ala wazn fa'il, it is not ala wazn fa'ul, it's not ala wazn fa'il, it's not on all of the awzan of the fa'il. It has some weird meter. And this meter is against qaida. You know the qiyas, we said there are sometimes exceptions, certain words that are not following the qiyas. These exceptions are known, the shuzuz, they are known. But you have a word, it's not part of the shuzuz, but it breaks the morphology meter, the meter of the word, the formation of the word, it breaks the meter. Then we say this word is against the meter of the Arabic language. That is mukhalafatul qiyas. And then wal gharaba, and you can hear garib in there, the word being strange, not necessarily wrong, but it can be right. But when you look at it, you check one dictionary, two dictionaries, you check about 5 dictionaries, you are not finding it. You have to look for some old dictionary, find the word somewhere very weird in one corner. Such a word, when you use it, your statement itself will be strange. You will now be having the responsibility of explaining plenty. Now this garaba, when you use a word like that, that is strange to everybody, we don't say that particular word is fasiha. But when the word is free from garaba, then we say that the word is fasiha. So if a word is free from tanafur al-huruf, mukhalafat al-qiyas, and garaba, then we say the word is fasiha. Jamil. First, he explains them to us, even though we've explained, but then let's run through what Sheikh says here. It says, فَتَنَافُرُ الْحُرُوفِ وَصْفٌ فِي الْكَلِمَةِ يُوجِبُ ثِقَلَهَا عَلَى اللِّسَانِ. When we say tanafur al-huruf, is the description of the kalima to show that, shows that the word is heavy on the tongue. There are some words in some tribes, when you tell them to pronounce it, they will struggle a lot. Jamil. In that case, we say that word in that language is not fasiha. It says wa usra nutqi biha, and the difficulty in pronouncing it. It is heavy on the tongue, and there is difficulty in pronouncing it. Nahu azosh. Particularly the word, example, the word azosh. Azosh is the word used for al-mawdin al-khashin, a rough place, a place that is coarse. A rough land, a rough something. Say this particular place is zosh. So the word, maybe you can pronounce it. You are not the meter. You are not the judge for the word being fasiha or not here. You are not the one to tell us there is tanafur in it here. I'm not the one. Maybe I will say, oh, it's easy for me. I'll zosh. It's not even heavy for me. But the Arabic, pure Arabic tongue finds it to be difficult. Why use al-zosh? Use some word instead. The letters wouldn't have to zosh like that. You can find something like that. Instead of saying khashin al-makan, khashin al-makan, I'm going to say zosh or stuff like that. For them, it's heavy on that tongue. And then we have al-hu. For this one, even I struggle. So I'm sure they would also struggle. Al-hu. Al-hu, what is it? It is a particular plant that the camel feeds on. Nabatin tar'ahul ibil. It is a particular plant. It's kind of not a full plant. It's kind of a grass. They call it the silver sounding wood. Silver sounding wood. When you search for silver sounding wood on Google, you'll find it like that. It's like some kind of grass that grows in a semicircular manner like this. The camel eats it a lot. Or you have it sometimes on the ground. Jimmy, it is called ho. So you say tar al-iblu al-ho. So this word, even though it's a word, It is not fasiha. It is not fasiha. Not fasiha doesn't mean it is wrong. It is just not fasiha. Let me notify you on something. Sheikh Ibn Uthaymeen's sharh is what you find here. Jamil. His sharh comes here. Where we need to refer to his sharh, we will do so. But you can be reading his sharh alongside. When you are reading a book, there is a footnote. You have to make sure you read it. Jamil. Says, and the word an-nuqah, Jamil, it is the name given to al-ma'ul azb safi, pure sweet water. It's called an-nuqah. Now the word an-nuqah doesn't sound so comfortable, so you stay away from it. Al-ma'ul safi, al-azb, Jamil. And then also mustashzirat, mustashzir. The word al-mustashzir is the word given to al-maftul. And when we say something is maftul, that is, it is braided. It is coiled. You know how the women do with their head, or just everybody with hair, how they do it. They braid it, they coil the hair. That is the mustashzir, Jamil. And also it has the meaning of being high, irtifa. Istashzara bimana irtafa, Jamil. So this, it came in the a poem of Imru al-Qais in his Mu'allaqa, where he says, غدائره مستشزرات إلى الأولى تدل العقاص في مثنى ومرسل. You get it? So he was describing the chunk of hairs on the head of that particular person, and he says that the hairs are coiled, they are in that braided form. Jamil. Now the word mustashzir is quite difficult. Why not maftul? Simple. Jamil. Because mustashzir is quite heavy and difficult to pronounce. And then that is with the kalima having tanafur al-huruf. The huruf is such a manner that it is uncomfortable on the tongue. And the B, which is the mukhalafatul qiyas, the word going against qiyas, the known meters. كون الكلمة غير جارية على القانون الصرفي. A word not following the sarf meter that is known for a particular thing. So we know, let's say, اسم المكان for a fi'l that comes فعل يفعل is supposed to be something like, let me see, let's say the اسم المكان for something that is فعل يفعل, like جلس يجلس, is supposed to be maf'il. Then we have masjid. Okay, then you go and say something like masjud. So let's say you've broken the qiyas, or you have something, you have the other meters which is supposed to come ala wazn maf'al, yani matba'. Then you go and say matbi'u. You break the qanun. So we know the awzan sarfiyah for specific purposes. Jamil. That is why we say that if you don't learn nahu, you don't learn sarf to a particular level, balaga, you just be doing it for fun. Jamil. You can see the qanun sarfi already coming in here. It says kajam'i book ala buqat, like the making of book is plural on buqat. Now don't get it wrong. If you search for these modern dictionaries now, if you search for our dictionaries right now, you see book is plural comes buqat, it comes abwaq, and even I think bawa'iq or something like that. Jamil. Fi qawl al-mutanabbi, in the usage of mutanabbi, where he got it wrong, says فَإِنْ يَكُ بَعْدُ النَّاسِ سَيْفًا لِدَوْلَةٍ, if people are swords for the state, فَفِي النَّاسِ بُوقَاتٌ لَهَا وَتُبُولُ, among people there are those that are also trumpet. Book is the trumpet, and tubulu is drums. So if some people are sword to the state, then among the people there are those that are also, yani a few people are also trumpet for the state, and there are drums also for the state, yani in support of the state. Now here the jam'u intended is not this jam'u. It's supposed to be the jam'ul killa, and the jumu'ul killa, I think all the awzan are not more than, they shouldn't be more than 5. Let me see if I can quickly mention them for you. You have the wazn coming as af'ul, af'al, af'ila, af'ilatun, and then fi'latun. These awzan are the jumu'ul killa. Now this jumu'ul killa, jumu'ul kasra is more than 16 meters, as I heard from Dr. Fadil Samrai. Now, this particular, the jam'u that was intended here was supposed to be أفعال. ففي الناس أفعال لها وتبول. But maybe it would affect the meter of the poem. He goes to use the buqat, which is not the plural that is intended per the sarf. Yani it intends the jam'ul killa. إذا القياس, he says إذا القياس, that the known meter في جمعه للكلة, in the plural of the word book for killa, yani small. You know, in Arabic we have small plural and then more plural, and we have plural of plurals. Jamil. So in the small plural that is intended, it's supposed to be abwaku. Al abwakun ala wazni af'alun. Jamil. So here the usage was ala khilaf al qiyas, goes against the qiyas sarfi. So here we say this word is not fasiha. وكمودد في قوله الرجز. Rajaz is a type of meter of the poem he used here in his same statement. إن بني للئام زهد ما لي في صدورهم من مودد. Now here we wouldn't really be explaining the poems a lot. Like, if we are going to be explaining the abiyat here, all of the abiyat, the lessons will take long. Mostly the focus is on a word. Sometimes the focus is on the arrangement of the letters. We will just stick to that. Yani this man is talking about his children, how they are vile, and how they are evil, and he not having anything of love with them. It says, Ma liya fi sudurihim min mawdida. The mawdida is what? Mawadda, love. Mawaddatan wa rahma. It says, wal kiyas, mawadda. Because in sort of you have dal like this, you would want to do idgham mawadda. That is how it's supposed to be. So he says the qiyas is mawadda bil idgham. So when he used mali fi sudurihim min mawdida, that particular kalima is not fasiha. And then he says wal gharabatu, the third one, which is the last of the fasahat al kalima. كون الكلمة غير ظاهرة المعنى. A word not having a clear meaning. Nahu taka'ka bimana ijtama'a. Imagine when you go and use taka'ka, taka'ka, and you say taka'ka an-nasu. Taka'ka an-nasu, it means ijtama'a an-nasu. But imagine you use it in any Arabic environment. The word is not familiar. People are not familiar with it. It's not even a comfortable word. And you use ifranqa'a bimana insarafa. Infranqa'a bimana insarafa, to go away, to spread out. Jamil. And itlakhamma bimana ishtadda. See, itlakhamma bimana ishtadda. It has become severe, to become severe. Now the taka'aka, ifranqa'a, itlakhamma, they are all words that people are not really familiar with. So if you use it in your line, if you don't take care, the whole line wouldn't be understood, because this word is gariba, is strange for the people. Now using a strange word like that makes the word not fasiha. Jamil. You will see a bait like that where it says malakum taka'akatum alayya. Then he says ifranka'u anni. Why? What is wrong with you that if gathered upon me, you'll go away from me? But that's such a statement. Why not malakum ijtama'atum alayya? Jamil, insarifu anni. It's quite clear. And then we come to the number 2, which is fasahatul kalam. Here we are talking about the kalam itself, the jumla, the expression as a whole. It's fasaha. What makes it fasiha? He says, salamatuhu min tanafuril kalimati mujtami'atan. Here is, you can have one word, there is no tanafurul huruf in it. Another word, there is no tanafurul huruf in it independently. But if you put the two words together, it causes difficulty on the tongue. So when you say them together, 1, 2, 3 words, it creates some tension. It creates some difficulty on your tongue. That is why it says tanafurul kalimati, tanafurul kalimat, not tanafurul huruf. So the tanafur of the words of the sentence all together. وَمِن ضَعْفِ التَّعْلِيفِ, and the second one is the construction itself being weak in terms of nahu. Again, if you don't have nahu, reading balaga will be difficult. You know how nahu, what is accepted in nahu and not. If the arrangement comes against what nahu says, that is the weak ta'alif composition yani. وَمِنَ التَّعْقِيد, and the word, the statement should be free from complexity. Complexity is where you use the sentence in such a way that one has to be connecting the fa'il from far away, bring the mubtada here, go search for the khabar before they put together and realize that, this is the sentence, this is the mubtada, this is the khabar, this is the fa'il, this is the fa'il. It makes it mu'aqqad. One has to sit on the sentence, check before they get arrangement well to get the meaning well. In that case, the kalam is not fasih. So مع فصاحة كلماته, the kalimat individually could be fasiha. You can use walad, rajul, jamilun, jadidun. These words are fasiha, but you put them in a sentence in a way that makes the sentence complex, then the kalam is not fasiha. It's not fasih. You can use them in a way that goes against grammar, weaker option in grammar, then we say the kalam is not fasih. It says فالتنافر, one after the other here as well. The tanafur here, وصف في الكلام يوجب ثقله على اللسان وعسر النطق به. Same thing. It is the description of the whole kalam that goes to say that the kalam is now difficult, is heavy on the tongue and is difficult to say. Nahu uses al-kamil, yani this particular bait is on the al-bahr al-kamil. It says في رفع عرش الشرع مثلك يشرع. Now في is كلمة فصيحة, رفع is كلمة فصيحة, عرش is كلمة فصيحة, الشرع likewise, مثلك يشرع. They are all فصيحة independently. But when it comes في رفع عرش الشرع مثلك يشرع, it makes the sentence, there is tanafur when they all come together. Now you find the huruf, there is some kind of dissonance or discordance or discord in the connection of the words. Then it makes it difficult to say. Then we say that that particular kalam is not fasih. And then there's other baits as well. We have it also, the first part is there. That is not where the focus is. We have it coming as وقبر حرب بمكان قفر وليس قرب قبر حرب قبر. It comes like that. If you all of this, when they don't mention the first part, the moment you type in this first part, second part, the ajuzul bait online, you just see the whole bait. So in most cases as well, I wouldn't worry about this. So you see, walaysa kurba is an okay word, qabrin is okay word, harbin is okay word, qabru is okay word. But the moment you put them together, walaysa kurba qabrin walaysa kurba qabri harbin qabru, it makes there is tanafur, it makes the word, the statement heavy on the tongue and difficult to pronounce. In that case, we say this particular kalam is not fasih because it is suffering from tanafur al-huruf. Jamil. And then also we come to this, another line of tanafur al-huruf, said, Karimun mata amdahu amdahu wal wara ma'i wa idha ma lumtuhu wahdi. Says Karimun mata amdahu amdahu wal wara ma'i. Now this amdahu makes the statement heavy and difficult on the tongue. Wa idha ma lumtuhu wahdi. That part isn't even so much of a headache. Jamil. So that is how, what we call the tanafur al-kalimat. Tanafur al-kalimat. Here is not tanafur al-huruf. Jamil. Says وَضَعْفُ التَّعْلِيف, and weakness in the construction of the sentence itself. كون الكلام غير جار على القانون النحوي. Now you see al-qanun al-nahwi also here. So a word not running on the grammar law, the laws of syntax. When a word breaks that law, then the statement will be weak. When the statement breaks the law of grammar, the approved law of grammar, then we say the statement is weak. Al-mashhur, yani the view that is more popular. There are some views that are shadh, some exceptional views. You go using them in construction your sentence will be very weak. And the most popular of it, كالإدمار قبل الذكر لفظا ورتبة. Like for example, you bring in the dhamir before you mention the word that the domir must refer to. And this word you mentioned, that word has حق التأخير لفظا ورتبة. Now this concept requires an in-depth explanation, and inshallah we will make time to make a single video on this. There are some ayat that we should look at. You know the word maf'ulun bihi, it has haqqut ta'khir. Maf'ulun bihi, it deserves to be delayed, right? The jumla fi'liya, its arrangement, original arrangement is fi'l, fa'il, maf'ulun bihi. Now, if the maf'ulun bihi or the fa'il has a pronoun that goes to refer to the maf'ulun bihi, what do? You have to bring the maf'ulun bihi before the fa'il so that the pronoun would be mentioned later. Let me give an example if I get it clearly. Like I say, Daraba, I want to say something like Redwan's father beat him. Redwan's father beat him. Now, if I'm arranging it on the normal arrangement, what will it be? Daraba abuhu, his father. Abuhu, Redwana, maf'ulun bihi. But if I do it this case, if you can write it with me and be labeling it. If I say Daraba abuhu Redwana, what have I caused? The pronoun hu in the abuhu is going forward to hit at Redwana, maf'ulun bihi. What is the problem here? The problem here is that this maf'ulun bihi, its actual position is that ending. And in terms of the loves, you've let it delay as well. You've kept it in its position. So when we say rutba, it means the original position of the word. When we say loves, it means where we put it. So in terms of loves and in terms of rutba, I've delayed the maf'ulun bihi. But the pronoun is attached to the fa'il that needs to go forward to hit the maf'ulun bihi that has been delayed lafzan wa rutbatan. In this case, the statement is weak because the pronoun has to hit at what is mentioned before it. So what do I do in such a sentence? I will say Daraba Redwana abuhu. Daraba Redwana abuhu. That is how I will arrange it. The same meaning Redwan's father beat him, but the arrangement must come this way so that it would fit with the al-qanun al-nahwi al-mashhur. Look at this particular example. I have something like the pronoun now being attached to the maf'ulun bihi. Jamil. Then I say something like shakara waladahu, shakara waladuhu afwan. I want a particular sentence that will be I think there is a verse. There is a verse in here that would help us, which is فَأَوْجَسَ فِي نَفْسِهِ خِيفَةً مُوسَى. There is this verse, فَأَوْجَسَ فِي نَفْسِهِ خِيفَةً مُوسَى, and then there is another example as well where we have da'a. Jamil, be writing this stuff there. They are very important. Da'a Musa. Jamil, Musa Rabbahu. This example is what Qatr Nada uses. I think so. And then the verse, inshallah, you look at it and see the arrangement. فَأَوْجَسَ فِي نَفْسِهِ فِي نَفْسِهِ. The he is for what? Musa. But the Musa is ahead. But let's use the da'a Musa Rabbahu example. When I say da'a Musa Rabbahu, Musa called his Lord. Musa is the fa'il. It has haqqut taqdeem. So in terms of rutba, it has to come first, right? And I bring it first. Da'a Musa Rabbahu, and the pronoun of the maf'ul bihi who, the pronoun of the Rabba comes back to hit at Musa. Fantastic arrangement. Now write it this way. Da'a Rabbahu Musa. Where now you bring the fa'il, you delay it in terms of lafz, but in terms of rutba, it has haqqut taqdeem. So you say da'a rabbahu Musa. Now this who, damir, has to go forward to hit at Musa. It is fine. Why is this one fine? Because the Musa originally comes before the Rabba. That is its original position. And so the damir who knows that even though it is going forward to hit at Musa, the original position of Musa comes before it. So the damir is okay. I'm still working as I'm supposed to do. The fa'il is, I'm imagining it to be before me. Even though they've said it after me, the fa'il is actual rutba, comes before me. So with this one, it is right. So when the fa'il comes after the damir of the maf'ul bihi, it is okay because the rutba of the fa'il is actually coming mentioned before the maf'ul bihi, not after the maf'ul bihi. So in this sentence, can say da'a Musa rabbahu or da'a rabbahu Musa. But with the sentence that I said earlier, daraba abuhu Ridwana, in this case, you can't use it like that. Ridwana, even though it's maf'ul bihi, it has haqqut ta'khir in terms of rutba. You have to bring it in lafz in front. Maybe you wouldn't get it fully here, but then this is just to prepare our minds. So we come here having that knowledge in mind. It says jaza banuhu abal ghaylani an kibarin wa husni fi'lin kama yujza sinimmaru. Yani abal ghaylan is the maf'ulun bihi. His children, jazahu, they rewarded him an kibarin, in his old age. So, and there is something that is supposed to be explained. When we say jaza'u sinimar, it's a proverb. Jaza'u sinimar, sinimar is said to be an architect. He designed a palace for An-Nu'man. An-Nu'man is said to be one of those kings of the previous eras. When he designed it for him, Nu'man realized that the palace is fantastic. It's some piece of art. Now, this piece of art, if I leave this particular designer or architect, he can design it better for other people. He can design the same thing for other people. Then let me just kill him. So he killed him. Instead of paying him, he killed him. So that is the reward Sinimar got. So when we say Jaza'u Sinimar, when you do something good for somebody and the person pays you with evil, say Jaza'ani Jaza' as Sinimar. He rewarded me the reward of Sinimar. Jamil. So the children of Abul Ghaylan, they rewarded him. But look at the sentence here. Jaza banuhu. This who refers to who? Abul Ghaylan, which is the maf'ulun bihi. Maf'ulun bihi already has haqqut ta'khir fi rutba, in the rutba. And in the lafz as well, you've mentioned it later after the damir. No, the damir will struggle to hit at it. It's very difficult for the damir in this case. So what do you say? Jaza Abul Ghaylani banuhu, so that the pronoun will go back to hit at Abul Ghaylan. That is how it's supposed to work. Because the damir fil asl, al-asl fil dama'ir, an ya'uda ala aqrab al-mazkur. They return to what is mentioned before them. Jamil. And then also we have the qaida al-asl fil dama'ir an ya'uda ala al-mazkur, أن يعود على متقدم لفظا متأخر متقدم لفظا ورتبة. The قاعدة goes like that. الأصل في الضمائر أن يعود على متقدم لفظا ورتبة. So the foundation in the pronouns is that the pronoun must refer to something that is متقدم. It has been mentioned before it. In terms of loves and in terms of rutba, the thing, that is the asl. So if the thing is even supposed to go forward, then it should be one, either the rutba or in loves. It shouldn't be ahead of the pronoun in terms of loves and rutba. The pronoun struggles in this case. So here the arrangement should have been Jaza Abul Ghaylani banuhu, but then the poet is saying that if I do it like that, the meter of the poem will be affected. But if also you force to write it like this, then we say this particular kalam is غير الفصيح, because there is ضعف التعليف. It's weak in terms of its construction. Jamil. Then we come to the third one, I think, that is التعقيد, complexity. أن يكون الكلام خفي الدلالة على المعنى المراد. For you to use a statement in a manner that one will be wondering, what do you even refer to? The dalala of the kalam is perhaps known to you only. It's not clear. And in communication, if what you are communicating to me, I can't catch it, you haven't communicated anything. Jamil. He says that is التعقيد أن يكون الكلام خفي الدلالة على المعنى المراد. He says والخفاء, and the khafa, the dalala, the reference of what you mean being hidden. How does it come by? إما من جهة اللفظ, sometimes due to the wording. بسبب تقديم أو تأخير أو فصل, due to you bringing something front when the thing is supposed to go late, it's supposed to be delayed, or you delaying something that is supposed to be brought forth, or you separating two things that are supposed to be together, like fa'il and maf'ul, the fail and fa'il. Then you put in between the fail and fa'il a lot of statements. So when I read the fail, I have to search before I see the fa'il. Or separating between mubtada and khabar too much. I have to go before when I find the mubtada, I have to search in the statement before I find the khabar somewhere. It is difficult for you to want to catch the meaning. وَيُسَمَّى تَعْقِيدًا لَفْظِيًّا, this kind of difficulty in the wording itself causing difficulty for the meaning, is called تَعْقِيدًا لَفْظِيًّا. كَقَوْلِ الْمُتَنَبِّي, like the statement of Mutanabbi. Mutanabbi, you've heard a lot from me about him, that he's a fantastic poet. But of course, he's not in the era of poetry where you use their poetry as reference in grammar and reference in sarf and all that. He says, جَفَحَتْ وَهُمْ جفحت وهم لا يجفخون بها بهم جفحت وهم لا يجفخون بها بهم شيم على الحسب الأغر دلائل. Now you just imagine what he has written and imagine that this is what it's supposed to mean. It says فإن تقديره, what it actually is جفحت بهم شيم. Imagine just this first three, or let's say imagine this first four words. See where the jafahat is. Alright. See where the bihim comes. The last word in the sadrul bayt. Shiyamun, which is the fa'il of the jafahat. See where it comes. Shiyamun comes here. In between the fa'il and the fa'il you have wahum la yajifakhuna biha bihim. Before you see the fa'il of the jafahat. See where the dala'ilu comes. The dala'ilu that is supposed to be an adjective for the shiyam. See where it comes at the end here. There is so much cut put here, put there. There is too much taqdim, ta'khir. There is too much fasl between the words. See where ala hasabi, which comes after the sifa dala'il here. See where the ala hasab comes. Shiyamun ala hasabi al-agharri al-dala'ilu. And al-agharri, where it comes and where it is in this particular statement. وَهُمْ لَا يَجْفَخُونَ بِهَا. The وَهُمْ لَا يَجْفَخُونَ بِهَا is supposed to be the last statement. But see how Mutanabbi arranges it. Even though it's poetry, it is too much. جَفَخَتْ وَهُمْ لَا يَجْفَخُونَ بِهَا بِهِمْ شِيَمٌ عَلَى حَسَبِ. And you expect me to know it is جَفَخَتْ شِيَمٌ جَفَخَتْ بِهِمْ شِيَمٌ دَلَائِلُ. I have to know this. عَلَى الْحَسَبِ. It's too much. You know, the breaks in it is too much. And then also this at-ta'qid can also be imma min jihatil ma'na. Sometimes from the meaning, there could be the ta'qid, could be in terms of the meaning. It says, بِسَبَبِ إِسْتِعْمَالِ مَجَازَاتٍ وَكِنَايَاتٍ. Due to using too much majaz. Yani, the majaz is a topic in this particular thing we are going to read. And kinayat, sometimes you want to use the word asad for a human. So you say, Ra'aytu asadan ya'ti. I saw a lion coming. Okay, it's fine. If I can reach the meaning that you want to mean that you saw a brave man coming. But when you use the majaz in a manner that I can't catch what you really intend, then there is ta'qid fil ma'na. And it makes your whole statement not fasih. And using kinayat. Kinayat is using an expression to cover a particular meaning. Jamil, you want to say somebody is ugly, but then you use a particular word to cover it, and people can catch what you mean. Like just the jaza as-sinimar. I want to say somebody rewarded me badly, so I want to use some kinaya or something like that. Then I say, oh, jazani jaza al. I say, did he pay you? I'll say, no, he paid me. But then he paid me the payment of sinimar. That is a cool kinaya. But sometimes you use a particular kinaya, the person cannot catch it. La yufhamul murad. What you intend is not understood from the kinaya you are using. La yufhamul murad biha. ويسمى تأكيدا معنويا. This is called تأكيد معنوي. نحو قولك, like you say for instance, نشر الملك ألسنته في المدينة. The king has spread his tongues in the city. So the king has a tongue everywhere. مرادا جواسيسه. But you intend with the tongues spies. When you intend spies, do you use tongue? No, you use eyes. You say the king has eyes everywhere. You don't say the king has tongues everywhere. So this kinaya is wrong. This majaz is wrong. والصواب, the right thing to say is نشر عيونه. أي نشر الملك عيونه في المدينة. The king has spread his eyes in the city. Jamil. So when you use the alisina, people don't really get the murad that you mean spies. But the moment you say eyes, people know that, oh, you are meaning spies. And like the poet says, سأطلب بعد الدار عنكم لتقربوا وتسكب عيناي الدموع لتجمدا. I would seek to go away from you so that you get close, you miss me. And how we do when you love somebody, stay off, the person will come by and all that, those kind of things. That is not the problem. وتسكب عيناي الدموع, and my eyes will flow tears. Sakaba yaskubu yani sabba yasubbu, to pour. My eyes will pour out water litajmuda, so that it become dry, to become static. What does he use the litajmuda here to mean? He says haythu kana bil jumud. He used the staticness to refer to as-surur, to refer to happiness. But what does jumud, what do they use staticness to mean? ما أن الجمود يكنى به عن البخل بالدموع وقت البكاء. The jumud is used to show one being niggardly, one being a miser with tears, where you are supposed to cry. Yani you are at a funeral, somebody beloved is dead, allow yourself to cry, then you press the tears, you dry your eyes to create that dryness. That dryness is an expression of you being a miser with the tears. It doesn't show happiness. It's not an expression to show happiness. So if you use the litajmuda to express happiness, it doesn't make sense. It's not a good kinaya. It gives us at-ta'qid al-ma'nawi. Jamil. Now we come to the last one. That is the fasahatul kalam. We come to the last one, which is the fasahatul mutakallim. Now please be noting this in your separate book. When we come to the fasahatul kalima, you have to note under it tanafur al-huruf and all this, mukhalafat al-qiyas al-sarfi and all this stuff, garaba. When we come to the fasahat al-kalam, you have to know the tanafur al-kalimat, and then also da'f al-ta'alif, and then also all these expressions, you have to note what comes under them separately somewhere. Then we come to the fasahatul mutakallim, the speaker himself being described as fasih. What does it require? It says it is malakatun yuqtadaru biha ala at-ta'biri an al-maqsud bi kalamin fasih fi ayyi gharadin kana. It is this trait, malaka, it is this innate ability with which one is able to express himself and say what he intends with a kalam fasih in every particular purpose. Wherever, in every particular situation, a person being able to express himself with the needed vocabulary, needed correct statement, needed correct words, then we say this particular person is fasih. So you see a person being described as has a shakhs fasihul lisan, and he is fasih, he is able to express himself. Jamil. And it says والبلاغة, that is not with the fasaha. It says والبلاغة في اللغة. When we say balaga in language, الوصول والانتهاء. balaga, yani the person has gotten reached or ended. Balāgha al-waladu sin kada, the child has reached the age of this. So sinnul bulugh, the age of maturity or the age of puberty. Now, balagtul bayta kada kada kada, yani I got to the house at this time. That is in terms of the language usage, everyday language. Yuqalu balagha fulanun muradahu, yani the person has gotten to his goal, what he intends. Iza wasala ilayhi, if the person gets to what he intends. Wa balagha rakbul madinata, the caravan has gotten to Medina, yani it has reached there. Iza intaha ilayha, when it gets to Medina, then we say balagha rakbul madina. So that is the usage of balagha in terms of everyday language. But in terms of al-istilah as a terminology, تقع البلاغة في الاصطلاح وصفا للكلام والمتكلم. So you see balaga, the kalima doesn't come in. We say that al-kalam al-baligh, the statement is baligh. Then we say the mutakallim is baligh. But we don't say kalima baligha, because the kalima alone has to be used before we say it is baligh. Why is that so? Because balaga is you saying what the condition requires. So just a word standing alone like that doesn't make any balaga. But a statement to a particular situation creates balaga. Says for balagatul kalami mutabaqatuhu li muqtada al-hal. The balagatul kalam is for the particular kalam to match up with the requisites of a particular condition. Muqtada is the requisite, what the condition requires, what the condition demands. So the balagatul kalam is the mutabaqatul kalami li muqtada al-hali, the word matching with the situation. Just as I keep saying, somebody is sick, you come, you have to say words of motivation, encouragement. You don't come there and be saying, oh, you are going to die. Death is so sad. You are so weak. This statement is not, the statement could be fasih, but it is not baligh. Ma'a fasahatihi, regardless of his fasaha, notwithstanding his fasaha, the statement will be fasih, but if it doesn't match the situation, it is not baligh. It has to match the condition you are speaking in. Wal-halu wa yusamma bil-maqam, this hal, which is also called al-maqam, هو الأمر الحامل للمتكلم على أن يورد عبارته على صورة مخصوصة. Al-maqam is the situation that is making you speak in the first place. So somebody is sick, we go to visit the person. That is a situation. Somebody is celebrating a birthday, we go to visit the person. Somebody is marrying, marriage ceremony, we go there to as visitors. Okay, we are in class teaching a student. That is a situation. There are certain words you can't use. That is the maqam, that is the hal. So it is the particular situation that makes the mutakallim put out his expression in a particular style. You hear a lot, لِكُلِّ مَقَالٍ مَقَام, or لِكُلِّ مَقَامٍ مَقَال. That is it. And لِكُلِّ حَالٍ مَقَال. That is balaga. Says وَالْمُقْتَدَى وَيُسَمَّى الْإِعْتِبَارَ الْمُنَاسِبَةِ. The muqtada is also called al-i'tibar al-munasiba, yani the accurate consideration, yani what the hal requires, what the hal calls for. هو الصورة المحسوسة التي تورد عليها العبارة. The al-muqtada is the particular surah, is the particular picture or structure that the expression is released on. مثلا المدح حال يدعو لإيراد العبارة على صورة الإطناب. Praises, when you are doing eulogy, it is a particular hal that gives you that picture scenario for you to release your expressions verbosely or in a verbosity manner. Wordy, it has to be wordy. You can't be praising somebody and just come and say Anta waladun jayyid. That is not eulogy. You are not eulogizing. Come and say, you are the king, you are the one that walks here, you are the warrior, no, everybody fears, you are the that, you are the one that comes and everybody is what. all these plenty expressions, you are being wordy. That is itnab. So madh calls for itnab. So when you see qasaid al-madh, you find them plenty. Look at particularly the qasidat al-burda for Ka'b bin Zuhair bin Abi Sulma, the one he recited for the Prophet. Look at such a poem, very lengthy. It's a poem of praise. Jamil says, وَذَكَاءُ الْمُخَاطَبِ حَالٌ يَدْعُ لِإِيرَادِهَا عَلَى صُورَةِ الْإِيجَازِ. The smartness of the speaker is a particular condition that calls for the speaker to speak in the Suratul Ijaz, yani brevity. So you say that a word to the wise is enough. So when somebody is smart, you tell him, don't go, that's enough. You tell him, put it there. He understands. Sometimes even bil ishara, even though ishara is not kalam in terms of nahu. Jamil. And then also for kullu min al-madhi wa dhaka'i halun. Madh, eulogy, smartness, they are all called hal. They are all the situation. Wa kullu min al-itnab wal ijazi muqtada. The itnab being verbose and ijaz being brief, they are all muqtada. They are the requisites of the particular hal. وإيراد الكلام على صورة الإطناب أو الإيجاز مطابقة للمقتضى. You being brief in the case where brevity is needed, and you being wordy in the case where wordiness is needed, is what we call مطابقة للمقتضى, matching with the requisites of the or the requirements of the particular condition. Jamil. We are almost at the end, seeing the stars. This is introduction, so it's quite lengthy. It says, وَبَلَاغَةُ الْمُتَكَلِّمِ, and the mutakallim being baligh is a ملكة يقتدر بها على التعبير عن المقصود بكلام بليغ في أي غرض كان. Knowing what balaghatul kalam is, when somebody has the ability to be able to speak in a manner that is baligh in any situation, then we say that person is a mutakallimun baligun. That is the balaghatul mutakallim. Says وَيُعْرَفُ التَّنَافُرُ بِالذَّوْقِ. Now this whole thing is not a continuation for this, but it stands alone. The tanafur he mentioned above, tanafur al-huruf, tanafur al-kalam and all that, how do you know it? It is known by al-dhawq. al-dhawq al-salim or al-dhawq al-arabi al-salim. A very sound Arabic taste, having the taste of, so somebody that knows Arabic to some extent, when you say a particular statement, even a word he doesn't know, if the word doesn't come well, the person feels it in him. There is that dhawq, there is that taste. Jamil, just like a key to a chef, when you cook something and you tell the chef, I added this spice, the chef can from afar determine that the thing will taste weird. Having that zawq salim, zawq Arabi salim, is what is used to determine the tanafur. Then mukhalafatul qiyas, it is known by as-sarf, it is known by da'f al-ta'lif wa ta'kid al-lafzi. Jamil, it is known by as-sarf, yani, wa da'f al-ta'lif and ta'kid al-lafzi is known by nahu. So tanafur is known by az-zawq al-salim, wa mukhalafatul qiyas is known by as-sarf, da'f al-ta'lif is known by ضعف التعليف والتأكيد اللفظي is also known by النحو. So you see, if you don't have the Arabic words, have the flair, you don't have sarf, you don't have nahu, how are you able to do balaga? Says والغرابة, knowing the strangeness of words is known by كثرة الاطلاع على كلام العرب. You can't say a word is strange when you've not read a lot of Arabic materials. You need to have read a lot of Arabic literature to say that this word doesn't come anywhere. وَالتَّعْكِيدُ الْمَعْنَوِي بِالْبَيَانِ, and to know ta'kid al-manawi, it is known by al-bayan, which is part of the sciences we will be learning here. وَالْأَحْوَالُ وَمُقْتَضَيَاتُهَا, it is known by al-ma'ani. Knowing the hal and what it requires is known by al-ma'ani, which is also the science that we will learn here. So in the balaga, we are going to be learning ilmul badi, ilmul bayan, ilmul ma'ani. These are the three sciences. We are done with them. That's all. It says فَوَجَبَ عَلَى طَالِبِ الْبَلَاغَةِ مَعْرِفَةُ اللُّغَةِ. The student of Arabic language must know lugha. I wanted to even do a separate video on this. When you have to study Arabic, how do you go about it? Mostly people start with grammar. Somebody, you go and see them starting with surf. Somebody wants to learn mantiq or learn some, what's it called? Sometimes books like the Maqamat al-Hariri, somebody wants to learn it quickly. No. You have to learn loga, yani basic vocabularies, know how to express yourself basically. Then you learn some nahu. As you are doing the nahu, you start surf. As you are doing surf, then you go into balaga. As your nahu and surf and balaga, your nahu to some extent, then you start balaga. When your balaga comes in, you are good in balaga, then you top up with mantiq. Jamil. معرفة اللغة, you must know lugha, which is knowing vocabularies. والصرف, know morphology. النحو, know syntax, grammar. والمعاني والبيان مع كونه سليم الذوق, for the person also having سلامة الذوق. كثير الاطلاع على كلام العرب, somebody who reads Arabic literature a lot. Jamil. Thinking this should end this chapter. Jamil, this brings us to the end of the introduction to الفصاحة and البلاغة. Inshallah, in our next meeting, we go straight into the heart of the course, which is ilmul ma'ani. Not every book of balaga starts with ilmul ma'ani. Some will start with ilmul bayan, some will start with ilmul badi. But here we are starting with ilmul ma'ani. So when you are done with the introduction, before the next lesson, you can start revising on ilmul ma'ani. Jamil. So this brings us to the end of this particular one. Till we meet again on our next topic. Have a very good Arabic time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.